Hello, this is Raven Fonfa, reference librarian at the Culinary Institute of America Library. We are going to review how to find books in the library, how to evaluate them, determine if they are scholarly or not, and how to get citations for books. Let's get started. We're on the library homepage, library.culinary.edu. We're going to use our Omnivore OneSearch, our catalog, and search engine across books, articles, and other resources we have through the library. We click the Book tab to search specifically for books. I'm going to type into search for books on coffee history and click search. We get a result list of books held in libraries around the country and around the world. We want to look to see what books are available here in the CIA library. We're going to use the search tools on the sidebar to limit the library to the Culinary Institute of America. And then we can review our list and evaluate and determine if these are books that we want to use for our papers or projects. The first book already looks of interest, has the title, the name of the author. Yes, it is held by the CIA library. It is available. It is located on the second floor. It is circulating, so you can check the book out. And it provides the call number, so you can find the book on the shelf. We can read a brief summary to learn more about the book. We can then also click on the title of the book to get more detailed information. Again, it provides author and title and the call number. And in fact, it turns out we have 2 copies of this book. But let's click where it says View Description to learn more about this book. It tells us who the publisher is. It has the table of contents. And the descriptive summary. After we evaluate the book, we may decide, yes, this is a book we are interested in using, in which case you can save it to your items, email it to yourself, and you can get a citation that you can include in your own document. We click the Cite button, choose a citation style, MLA 8th edition, or APA 6th edition. Check with your instructor what citation style they want you to use. It then advises you to proofread the citation, and you can copy and paste directly into your document. One factor to consider when evaluating a book, and to see if it meets the requirements of your assignment, is whether or not the book is scholarly, meant for an academic audience, or popular, meant for the general public. And there are a few things we can look at to determine that. The first one is to check and see if the book has references, if they have their own list of citations of books and other sources they read when they prepared the book. And this says yes, in fact, it does have references. Well, a few other things we need to check as well. We may want to check the publisher, and this publisher may or may not produce scholarly books, but basic books implies it may not. And the next thing to check is who is the author. Sometimes a book will have an About the Author section, but it's actually quite simple to just Google the author's name to learn more about them. And in this case, the individual is an independent scholar and author. We may want to learn more about this person, but we probably need to now look at the book more closely to determine if it is meant for an academic or popular audience. And that will have to do with the way the book is written and the kind of information provided. Now, if we want to find more books on this topic, coffee history, it can also be helpful to look at the subject terms. Coffee history is, in fact, a subject phrase used to identify and describe this book. Other terms, coffee industry history, and just coffee industry. Let's click on the subject heading that says coffee history to find more books that are specifically on the history of coffee. We again need to limit to the CIA and to books. And now we have 32 results of books identified as being on the history of coffee held in our library. Let's review the list. Some are very specific to a region or time period. Some are even more specific on a particular aspect of the history of coffee, in this case, social aspects, the coffee house, information about caffeine, a history of tea, but I would think they're mentioning coffee as well. And as we review this list of titles, this last book, Coffee Culture, Local Experiences and Global Connections, looks interesting to me. It indicates here that it is an ebook. To read an ebook, you just click on the green button, and it opens in a new browser. Here, we can read the description, review the subject headings, read the full text by clicking on either a PDF or EPUB version. We can also get our citation here. Here, we scroll through looking for the appropriate citation, APA or MLA. And it will provide the URL as well. I'm going to close the ebook, and we are back at the Omnivore catalog. I'm going to click on the title to learn more about the book. I'm going to choose View Description. Again, it tells us the publisher, table of contents. It does have references, and we will search for information about the author. And here it is quite clear. The author is a professor at a university with a history of publications. And so we can conclude that this is most likely a scholarly academic book written for other scholars and for students. And we can use that in our own papers and projects if your instructor has required that you use scholarly books for your projects. Let's try another search. We'll go up to the search box and look for resources on the topic sustainability and agriculture. Again, we are going to limit to the CIA, and we are going to limit to books, and we can review the titles. Many of these seem to be mentioning sustainability and have the word agriculture, but perhaps are not directly focusing on our topic. We looked for these two terms to show up anywhere in the information about these books, and so it's not necessarily the most accurate, relevant results. The last book, Sustainable Agriculture, looks to be directly on our topic. Clicking the title, viewing the description. Again, it's giving us table of contents, very useful to determine if this book is relevant for our project. And we can look at this long list of subject terms to help us identify some of the main themes addressed, but we can see here that while we typed in sustainability in agriculture, the subject phrase used is sustainable agriculture, and it could be very helpful to use that phrase to find books identified as being directly on our topic. We're going to click that and again get a list of books that have already been identified as focusing on our topic. Limit to CIA again, and limit to books. And now we have a list that is more relevant and more targeted to our topic. Readers are very useful to get background information and overviews of a subject. But then we see there are specific issues being addressed within this broader subject. Food security, conversion from conventional to sustainable farming systems, organic sustainable agriculture. We may choose to narrow our search even further, but we need to see, is there enough written on this topic to support a paper or project? We can return to the search box and simply type in the word organic. I'm also going to keep our selections so we don't have to click those again. And yes, we have 13 books in our library covering this topic, making this both a manageable and viable topic for us to do a paper or project. I'll go to the next page. If you have any further questions for finding books in our library or getting help with the research strategy to locate books, you are welcome to contact us. You can come to our help desk for help locating books in the library, or contact me directly for questions about doing research and finding books. On the library's homepage, we have a number of pages that can provide further assistance. Under Library Resources, the page with more detail about our books and ebooks, searching, finding, evaluating, checking books out, and locating books in the library. Also, under Library Help, our Library Research Introduction, our section on books, provides a brief overview of how to find books in our library, and we have a guide on how to determine if a book is scholarly or non-scholarly, reviewing the items that we looked at in the books in the catalog. Who is the author? Does it have references? Who is the audience? And what is the goal? So please do not hesitate to get in touch with us for any questions you may have, finding books through our library or getting access to books from other libraries, or recommending that we purchase a book for our library. Under Library Help is our contact information and an online calendar for making an appointment with me. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with you.